studied about the liability sides, how to do different accounts or different things into the liability side with different things we studied about. Next we have to study is about the asset side of the balance sheet. What are the different things included in the asset side? Okay. There are mainly two types of assets, non-current assets and current assets. So assets can be divided. So liabilities also can be divided into two categories like current liabilities and non-current liabilities. And assets are also considered as current assets and non-current assets. Okay. As per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, non-current assets are defined as non-current assets are those assets which are not current assets. Therefore, it is necessary to understand the meaning of current assets. So, which are not current assets, they are non-current assets. So, first we have to understand what is a current assets. Current assets are as follows. They are expected to be realized in or is intended for sale of or consumption in the company normal operating cycle. Okay, or when the normal operating cycle cannot be identified, it is assumed to be have 12 months. So normal operating cycle means that within 1 year time. Okay, 12 months time. So current assets means that a asset which can be transferred into money within 1 year. Okay, so we have purchased a product for the purpose of resale. So that goods are there. So they can be called as other thing, current assets. You know, so stock will be there, raw materials are there, so many different other type of things are there within 1 year, which can be made into cash. Okay, so those type of things are called as current assets. Understood? They are held primarily for the purpose of being traded. So they are actually used for the purpose of trading, selling. Okay, and they are expected to be realized within 12 months after the reporting date. So they are expected to be made into cash in a 12 months time, 1 year time. And they are cash or cash equivalents unless they are restricted from being exchanged or used to settle a liability for at least 12 months after the reporting date. So anytime they can be made it into cash. So they are cash or cash equivalents, just like cash they are there. So like a goods which are ready to for the sale. So already products are there with us. So now today or tomorrow we will be selling that and we will be making it into cash. So it is just equal to the cash itself. Okay. And all other assets shall be classified as non-current assets. So non-current assets means that assets which will be continuing in the business for more than 12 months time. Okay, or more than 1 year time. So any kind of assets which can be held in the company for more than 1 year time. So those type of things are called as non-current assets. So current assets means that within 1 year we will be selling the things and making it into cash. So let us say non-current assets. So what are the different non-current assets? The first one is fixed assets. So there are 5 types of non-current assets are there. Fixed assets, non-current investment, deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets. So these are the 5 categories. First we will study about fixed assets. So you know what is fixed assets is, land, building, all these type of things which is made for the purpose of using for long term. Fixed assets are those assets which are held by a company not with the purpose of sale but with the purpose of increasing earning of the business. So fixed assets are further classified into different categories like tangible assets, intangible assets, capital, working in progress, intangible assets under development. So there are different categories. So fixed assets you are much familiar. Okay, so you can just go through what are the different subcategories of that. The next heading we have to study is about non-current investments, which are investments made more than 1 year time. Okay, that is called as non-current investments. Non-current investments are those investments which are held for the purpose of resale but to retain them. Non-current investments are further classified into trade investments and other investments. So there are mainly 2 categories. So non-current investments are there. They are not purchased for resale purpose. Okay, they are for a holding. Okay, so like imagine that if you are purchasing a share, so some people purchase shares for the purpose of holding it. So after many years, few years, They will be holding, they invest money and they keep it. Then some are there, they are trading purpose. So today you purchase, tomorrow or day after tomorrow or within few days they will sell it and try to make profit. So for that purpose they keep the shares. Some purchase the shares for the purpose of holding it. So if the business is taking any kind of investments are made for the purpose of holding it for a longer duration. So that type of things are called as non-current investments. So there are so many non-current investments are there. Investment in property, investment in equity shares, instruments. So many are there. You can just go through it. You can study what are they. Then next heading is about deferred tax assets. So we have studied, when we studied about liability, we have studied the deferred tax. So what is the difference? So there is accounting income is there and taxable income is there. There are two things are there. The variation between these two is called as the deferred tax. Okay. So if deferred tax, as we studied, if taxable income is more, then it will become a liability, and other income, accounting income is more, then it is an asset. So if such a way, if any assets are there, that is called deferred tax assets. Refers to the difference between accounting income and taxable income. When the taxable income is more, this has been discussed in detail. So when accounting income is there and taxable income is there. Okay. So if 2 lakh rupees or 20,000 rupees is there as accounting income, and 22,000 rupees is described as a taxable income. Do you understand? So we have paid tax for 2,000 rupees more additional, okay, which we were not supposed to pay. We are supposed to pay only this much. Actually, accounting income this much only there, but we paid tax for more amount. Okay, so that is an asset. Already we have paid. Do you understand? So we have paid for that. So additional taxes. So that will become as an asset. And if opposite is there, so if this is the accounting income is more, then what happens? We have to additionally pay tax more. For the additional amount deferred tax we have to pay. So that will become a liability. Did you understand? So this one means that only for 2 lakh rupees we had to pay, but we paid for 22 lakh. 2 lakh 20,000. 20,000 and 22,000. So we have to pay only for 20,000, but we paid for 22,000. So the amount that we have paid for 2,000, that is extra. So that is an asset for us because we have already paid. Did you understand? And if we have paid only for 18,000, then for 2,000 rupees we are supposed to pay. Okay. So that difference that will become a liability because this one already we have paid. So that is an asset. That much we need not to pay. So it will become an asset. Then next one, long-term loans and advances. Long-term loans and advances are those loans and advances. Those are expected to be received back in cash or kind after a time span of 12 months from the date of a balance sheet or after the period of operating cycle. So long-term loans and advances means that like if any advances and all which we have given, some loans which we have given, which will be receiving back after 1 year. Okay, more than 1 year if we are giving any loan. So we have given loan for somebody or any other company if we have given loan, and that money we will be getting back after 1 year. So such kind of things are there, or any advances we have already paid. Some advances are there which we have paid, and the transaction or it will be entered maybe after 1 year only. Okay, so like we are going to purchase a product or property, and we are giving advance. Normally we give advance which we are supposed to pay, make it suddenly. So like imagine that a flat is being built. Okay, so when the flat is started, when these flat owners and all are there, when they plan to make itself, they will take advance from the people. So like there are flats are there, so this many flats. So it will take maybe 2 or 3 years to build the flat. But before the flat is built, that itself they will take advances from the people. So by the time it is completed, you will get the final payment you have to make, and you can purchase the flat. So, but within 1 year it will not be completed. So you are paying it advance. So such type of any advances are there, or any loans we have paid, which is not expected to be received in a 1 year time. So they are called as long-term loans and advances. Okay. So there are different types of these things are there, like capital advances. These advances made for the acquisition of fixed assets are known as capital advances. An asset is received in exchange of these advances. So already I have told you, which I have told you, like a flat and all we are purchasing. So at that time we are making. So this is called capital advances. Okay. Or imagine that a building is to be made. So when we have to make a building, but building is under construction. At that time we say that we are going to purchase this building. It may take 2-3 years for completing the building, but we are paying some amount as advance. Okay. So when the construction is over, like if imagine the total value of the building is 5 crore rupees, and we are already paying some 2 crore rupees, we are paying as advance, and by the time we complete building construction is over, then remaining 3 crore more we will pay, and we will pay it. So at that time this will become asset. Okay, the money that we have purchased, it will become part of our assets. Do you understand? So that is called as capital advances. Then security deposit. It includes security deposit given for a period of more than 12 months from the date of balance sheet or after the period of operating cycle. These security deposits are classified under long-term advances. So sometimes we are giving some security deposits will be given. Okay, so like if any security amount will be paid. So if we have to get some money or any type of things are there, so for that we will be paying some security money. We have to pay security money for that. So that money will be held as an asset, and that will be getting back. See, like some government job and all, or any type of some companies and all. When if you want to get job, you have to pay money. So you have to pay security, like you have to pay like 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, like that. Then they will say that you will get this money back maybe after 5 years or 10 years and all. So that for long duration, this one will be there. Okay. So those type of money is called as a security deposit. And other loans, any other kind of loans are there, those things also will be coming in the long-term loans and advances. And the next one is called as other non-current assets. So we have studied about 4 different types of non-current assets. So if any of these things are, any of the non-current assets are there, which are not included in any of these categories, they are coming as other non-current assets. Okay, so there are some examples given there, like a long-term trade receivable. Trade receivables are classified as a long-term trade receivable if the amount of trade receivable is received after 12 months. So if the trade receivable is normally like when money trade transactions that we are making. So normally we will be receiving the amount in 12 months time. Okay, and if any other trade receivables are there which will be paid only after 1 year time, those things will be coming as other non-current assets. Or any unamortized expenses, losses to be written off after 12 months time. Okay. Then next is about the current assets. So main heading first we have studied is about the non-current assets. Next is about the current assets. Current assets are classified or shown under the following 6 heads. Current investments, inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalents, short-term loans and advances, other current assets. There are 6 categories are there, current assets. So first one is current investments. Current investments are those investments which are to be held to be converted into cash within a short period, within 12 months. So all this, like if the word current is used, current assets are there, all these current assets can be made it into cash within 1 year time. Okay, and non-current assets means whichever is cannot be made it into cash in 1 year time, means it will take more than 1 year time to make it into cash. Do you understand? Which needs more than 1 year time. So current assets means that any of these things are there which can be made into cash within 1 year time, less than 1 year time. Okay, maximum time is 1 year. Okay, so current investments, some investments like as I told you, like shares you are purchasing. Intraday trading is there for shares. Okay, have you heard of this one? Intraday trades. So shares, some companies are there, some people are there, they are doing the transaction of shares in intraday shares. Intraday shares means that within 1 day the shares are purchased and sold. Okay, you purchase morning, you purchase, and evening you can sell. Okay, so people those who are very they have to be watchful about this one. So morning or at the opening of the market, what will be the value, and within few. So they will purchase in bulk quantities, and the increase in sales maybe in like some paise. Okay, some 20 paise increase will be there, or few paise increase only may be there, but they will purchase the shares in very bulk quantity so that a large amount of profit can be made. Okay, so they make bulk transactions, and even small single transactions, and this MRF tires and all are there. So MRF tires value is around 25,000 rupees and all. So that is 100 rupee or 1000 rupee value share is there, and current value is 24,000, 25,000 rupees. So if in one day itself some 300 rupees, 400 rupees increase or decrease in shares take place. Okay. So if you purchase 300 rupees, increase is there, and if you are having some 100 or 10 shares are there, then 3,000 rupees are there. If 100 shares are there, then 30,000 rupees profit can be made. Okay. So based on that, so people make this one. So such a way. Or some people they purchase shares for the purpose of reselling, but within 1 year they will be selling. Okay, or any other investments will be there, like investment in equity instruments or preference shares, government or trust securities, debentures or bonds, mutual funds, partnership firms. All these type of investments can be coming in the category of current investments. The next one, inventories. Inventories mean stock held for the purpose of trade in the normal course of business for manufacturing or trading of goods. So inventories means that the products which we are keeping for the purpose of selling. Okay, so or for making the products. So there are raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, goods acquired for trading, stores and spares, loose tools. All these things are coming in the category of inventories. So the stock we can say. Inventories means the stock, whichever things we are stocking and keeping. So they are already either raw materials are there and we will make it and sell it. Within 1 year we are planning to sell this product. Okay, or any other like semi-finished products are there, or finished products are there which we are ready to sell. Okay, or like if a wholesale shop is there, so or a retail shop is there, they have already purchased the things and kept for the purpose of sale. So those things are coming in the category of inventories. The next one is called as a trade receivable. Trade receivable refers to the amount due on account of goods held or services rendered in the normal course of business, receivable within a period of 12 months. So like a trade receivable means that we have sold some products to somebody and we are supposed to get the money back. So that is called as the trade receivable, and the money will be received in a 12 months time. Okay, so we have given some credit to somebody and we are supposed to get the money within 12 months time. So those money is considered as a trade receivable. Okay. The next one is called cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents are the most liquid assets constituting a part of an entity's asset base. Cash equivalents refer to assets that are readily convertible into cash of known amount and satisfy the two conditions listed. Has a short maturity span, generally over 3 months. Has a insignificant risk of change in value. Okay, so like these things are there, so like a cash or a cash equivalents. Cash means there is no any risk is not there, already it is in the form of cash. And cash equivalents means that we can within a short span of time, within a short period, we can convert it into money, and there will not be any much loss. Okay, so like when you are converting it into money, there is no much chance of loss is not there. Okay, so like a balance with the bank. So the money which we have deposited in the bank, anytime which you are, if you are having like ATM cards are there, so within few or even directly nowadays there are online transactions can be made. There is no need of having cash with us. You can make bank transactions. And if it is needed, then only need to maximum time is required is that you have to go to the bank and withdraw this money, write a check and give and withdraw this money. That is the maximum amount of time that you need to withdraw this money. Okay, especially like we are having some accounts and all, in that there are limits are there. Like you cannot withdraw more than 2 lakh rupees in a day. So like that some restrictions are there for the savings account. But for current account there are no any restrictions like that. So because current account huge amount of capital or money, much amount of money they will not be using. So for the purpose of withdrawing, how much is required? For the trading purpose, they are holding that money in the current accounts. So how much within few time we can purchase? Or checks draft in hand, check. Okay, so you received a check from somebody and it is with you. So now it is in the form of check, but now you are not giving. But when you are in need of money, directly you go and give it in the bank, suddenly you will get the money. So within few hours you can make it into cash. And cash in hand already, it is in the form of cash. And others, if any of such kind of things are there. Then next one, earmarked balances with the banks. For example, for unpaid dividend shall be separately stated. So if any other earned, like any unpaid dividends or any other side type of things are there, like we are supposed to pay the dividend, but it is unpaid one. So such type of things, any balances are there in the bank. Balances with the bank held as a margin money or a security against the borrowings, guarantees, other commitments shall be disclosed separately. So if any things are there, so like when you are making any securities and all, we have to give some advances or securities in the bank. Like if you are purchasing a security, for that we have to pay a deposit money has to be submitted there. So that money is there. So if any time we can make it into cash. And bank deposits with more than 12 months maturity. So like if you are making like FDs and all are there. So any type of bank deposits that we are making. So like sometimes we savings bank account we make and or sometimes we make FDs. So FD of you can make for 7 days also minimum. So 7 days, 14 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months like that. Within short period also you can make FD. Okay. Like these travelers and all are there, those who are these travel agencies and all people, those who are conducting like that. So foreigners and all they are coming and they will be next like for December they will be coming, or in the month of January they want to do traveling. So they will be booking this one earlier itself. Maybe like 4 months, 5 months before they will, or next May. Imagine that next May they want to have a tour to Kerala. And in Kerala they will book, they need all the facilities required, so they will book with a travel agency there. So and total expenditure they will calculate and they will tell you, and that amount has to be paid now, advance. So say like if 5 lakh rupees total expenditure is coming, then so how much amount can be there? So that money they will be depositing. So what they do is that 3 months time is there, for 6 months time is there. For that much time they will deposit this money into the bank as FDs like. Okay, and when that time is over, then they can take it. Then next one, short-term loans and advances. Okay, short-term loans and advances refers to loans and advances given to the business associates and others, which must be settled within 12 months. So if any short-term loans are taken, so like if we are in we have given some loans to somebody for any emergency purposes. Okay, so in 1 month time or after 1 month, 2 months or 5 months, we will be getting this money back. So such type of things are short-term loans. Other current assets, so all these 5 categories are there. So any other things which are not included in these type of 5 categories. For example, any prepaid expenses, accrued incomes and advance taxes, etc. All these type of things can be in the category of other current assets. So, Varkey Limited strictly follows the provisions of Companies Act 2013. The following balances are supplied on the basis of which you are required to prepare a balance sheet of Varkey Limited as at 31st March 2018. There are some information given about the company. First one is land and machinery. building. Equity share capital. Equity shares of a company. And the called up and paid. Eight percentage debentures. Stock in trade. Furniture and fixtures. Long term bank loan. Okay. Everything balance sheet. So first we can prepare the notes to accounts. Okay. So from that we will get the details. Either we can prepare notes to accounts in the balance sheet or balance sheet first we will prepare. But preparing notes to account is easy. So you can first prepare the notes to account and whatever balance will be there, so those will be entered there. Okay. You do it by yourself? Huh? Right.